A blunder at the state capitol has delayed reforms designed to save lives and offer better care for people battling mental illness.
AJ Legault shares the latest findings in our investigation, The Gap, failure to treat, failure to protect. And we want to warn you, this report contains scenes of violence.
And that one was my 10th birthday. I never forget to think about him.
Where many 15-year-olds have a mirror,
Yeah.
Madison Murphy has reflections of the past.
It's a good day. It's a really good day.
Her room filled with those echoes.
This was his second favorite flannel that he wore all the time.
Of a man who, without her, no longer has a voice.
I just wanted to tell you about my dad. He definitely didn't deserve, what happened.
Someone in the house with their bloody face.
October 20th, 2022.
Downstairs, and there's blood all over the place.
St. Paul police respond to a sober home.
The victim in basement unresponsive.
For a reported murder.
From the guy that we have in custody, it sounds like there might be 2 victims in the house.
There were 2 victims inside, killed with a knife and hammer.
I saw my mom crying, out the window. She said, "It's your dad," and I immediately knew that he wasn't here. Sorry.
Madison's father, Jason Murphy, was a handyman, only at the house to make repairs.
Why? Why him?
Also murdered, John Wentz, an Army veteran living at the home while in addiction recovery.
At the time before he was killed, he had been clean about a year.
Angela McGowan is another daughter, now fatherless, after accused killer Joseph Sandoval told police, "The TV said they were going to kill me and told me to take the opportunity."
And I just feel like there isn't only 2 victims in this case. There's 3 because Joseph Sandoval didn't get the help that he needed.
There are a lot of people that didn't get shot.
Joseph Sandoval's is a tragically familiar story. For the past 2 years, Carol Evans' investigation, The Gap, has exposed murders, rapes, and violent assaults allowed to happen because in Minnesota, it was no one's job to try and restore mentally ill individuals charged with crimes to competency. Too often, we found, they're just released without adequate care and oversight. Last summer, lawmakers passed sweeping bipartisan reforms, but our investigation now finds wires got crossed.
Unfortunately, yes.
State Representative Heather Edelson says a competency restoration board was supposed to be appointed immediately to set up a new system and train 120 new employees to help close the gap.
Is there a board at this point?
No, there's no funding for the board.
Remember, the state is sitting on a projected $17 billion surplus. So, why no funding? The bill that was passed mistakenly stated funding didn't start until fiscal year 2024.
It's an error that we ideally like to fix.
Is getting this right a matter of life and death?
Absolutely. For some families, it is.
Joseph Sandoval could be a case study. The 32-year-old had a known history of severe mental illness, drug-induced psychosis, and violence long before 2 innocent men were murdered.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
September 2020, 2 years before the sober home killings.
Well, I just had a guy burst through my door and smash a couple of my windows.
A Minneapolis home invaded.
He's just breaking random in my house. He's all bloody.
He's a really big guy, and his arms are just covered in blood because he's been smashing the windows with his bare hands.
Brian Plunger was working from home when Joseph Sandoval broke in, then began stacking furniture in front of the doors.
No, please. Oh, God.
And you said that he was using chairs to barricade?
Yeah, and now he broke my couch.
Were you able to tell pretty quickly that this was a man having a mental health crisis?
Yes. That was, my immediate impression was, whoa, this guy needs some help.
Police came and took him to HCMC. He didn't stay long. Weeks later, records show he attacked people with a knife, this time taken to jail where, unprovoked, he beat another inmate with a broom.
Charges in that case were eventually dismissed because Sandoval was mentally incompetent to go to trial. He ended up back on the streets. His violence escalated.
Sandoval stole a cab, led police on a wild chase through Minneapolis. With State Patrol helicopter overhead recording, he slammed into a man.
Didn't even know what happened, just all of a sudden I was getting tossed.
You just ran somebody right over.
Dylan Swisher has never seen the video of being run down.
It looks like that'll be you, right?
Yeah. We show him how he was hit not just once, but twice.
Like that second time, it looks like he backs up and aims.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how you could come to any other conclusion, to be honest. He just drives at me. I'm a dude on the ground, and he drives directly for me.
You think he was trying to kill you?
Yes.
Sandoval eventually crashed and was arrested, charged with assault and theft, found incompetent to go to trial. This time, a judge ruled that as a consequence of his mental illness, he engages in grossly disturbed behavior, and he poses a substantial likelihood of causing physical harm. Sandoval was ordered civilly committed, sent to the state-run Anoka Metro Regional Treatment Center. But 5 months later,
this system is broken.
Just as lawmakers were proposing changes to deal with GAP cases like his, Sandoval, still incompetent to stand trial, was released, provisionally discharged to Evergreen Recovery, a St. Paul drug treatment center.
How did you find out like the case against him was just kind of dropped or set aside?
Well, from you guys.
Then, 5 months after lawmakers passed reforms, but didn't immediately fund them, Joseph Sandoval moved into the St. Paul sober home, left on his own, and within a matter of hours, 2 daughters did not have fathers.
2 innocent men, and now both of their families have to live with that.
Representative Edelson has introduced legislation she hopes will be passed any day now to immediately begin funding the competency restoration reforms and close the gap. For KARE 11 Investigates, I'm AJ Legault.